Hi, I'm Ryan LaPlante.
And I'm Tyler Hewitt.
And we are the crazy people who created both Garbage Town the Movie Podcast and Dum Dums and Dragons. And we are super excited to announce that we're starting a podcast production company called Garbage Productions.
So if you head over to patreon.com/Garbage Productions, you can actually subscribe for as little as $1 and you can get some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, you can actually help support the show and help us get made. For $1 a month, you get advance notice on all the upcoming movies on Garbage Town so you can suffer through them yourself. You get advance notice on guests coming up on DD&D so you have an idea of where that's headed, and you have access to our community and comments. For additional money, you get even more input, even more say, and you're even more a part of the shows.
We definitely want to hear from you, so go over there, check it out, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.
Yeah, patreon.com/Garbage Productions. Become a garbage person with us. Welcome back to Dum Dums and Dragons, where improvisers who've never roleplayed before journey into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm the Grand Wizard Bukkake, your host. Previously, our heroes set off to the town of Thundertree to collect master tools and a spellbook from a Banshee. Along the way, Alyn attacked a giant spider before they discovered it was a friendly druid played by the spider-loving Jamie O'Connor. Forced to send Alyn inside to negotiate with the Banshee alone, can our heroes survive her inability to emotionally connect with others? Find out next on Dum Dums and Dragons! Obviously, I'm going to be of no use here because I don't speak Elvish. Quinny, do you speak Elvish?
No, I don't.
Yacob, do you speak Elvish?
No, unfortunately.
Dear God, Alyn is going to be our diplomat. Okay,
I
Alyn,
got this, guys.
Let's just lay out some ground rules.
Okay.
We know it's vain,
Okay.
so you got to say nice things about how great it looks all the time.
Okay.
You know
nice
how
things. Let me just write this down?
Oh, please. You know how sometimes you like to point out when people are wrong?
Things.
Wrong or crazy or what they say doesn't make sense?
Well, it's not that you're wrong. It's just informing you of the correctness.
Strong theory here. Just agree with whatever she said. If it's wrong, as long as it's not like kill your friends. I mean, don't agree with that. But otherwise, you don't need to point out grammar mistakes.
Agree.
Do
I point out grammar mistakes with you guys?
I don't know. You throw acid on people. I'm nervous.
If I may step in,
Please.
Also, despite what she looks like, don't immediately electrocute her.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Okay, not immediately.
Like, wait for her to
Okay,
do a
okay.
thing first.
Okay.
Okay, here's a question for strategy purposes. Do you think it's more impressive in playing to her vanity if Alyn asks Quinny to present the comb or if Alyn presents the comb? Like, do we want to make a show of it? I could have Goblin Jr. Listen, I just taught Goblin Jr. a trick. What if we give Goblin Jr. the comb and let Goblin Jr. walk up on his hind legs and then give the comb?
I feel like someone who's vain doesn't want to comb out of the mouth of a slobber.
No, from the hands. That was what I was teaching with the hammer, but we could switch for the comb.
Jesus Christ.
That seems slightly condescending.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Listen, this is why we have these meetings. And I take the table and I put it back on the mule.
Look, I could try and sneak in and give Alyn cover, but someone, and I gesture over to Butthole, it won't stop the glowing.
This is not me anymore. I've been over this.
Really wish I had Dispel Magic.
I can sneak in with Alyn as a tiny animal.
That sounds better.
You were looking up animals. Have you figured out one you would like to?
Yeah, I'm going to do a cat.
I immediately grab Goblin Jr. because he's going for the cat.
I could have done bat or frog, but I feel like cat is the
No, I'm fine with
easiest.
it. Goblin Jr. just loves cats.
So yeah, I will shape into a cat and follow Alyn in, I guess.
All right.
Oh,
Let's go,
I give
Yacob.
you the comb. I'm holding the comb. I give you this.
It's a jeweled silver comb.
It's a jeweled silver comb. Yes,
Okay,
it's
well, I'm a
very
cat. I
decorative.
cannot hold on to that.
I'm assuming like in your mouth or something, or even I could like.
Give it to Alyn.
Why don't
Well, no,
I'll
yeah,
take
I'm
it.
following Alyn in just
That's
to be
right, that's
support
right. I'm sorry,
in
yeah,
case,
you're right, yeah.
like,
Yeah. So yeah, I passed over to
we're
Alyn.
trying to not draw any attention to me if at all possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, Quinny and I stand at the edge of the woods, listening real hard.
Yeah.
So this comb's for the Banshee.
Yeah, I have the comb in my hand, and you go to take it from me, and I kind of can't let go of it.
Do we want to work out some kind of thing we can do to alert you guys if we need you to rush in and back us up?
Try shouting help.
Okay.
Or
Yeah.
if you want to order 5 beers in Southern Dwarvish, you just have to yell "Fringa," and then we'll come out of the woods.
Okay.
Because I think that's like a safe word. You're not gonna you might want to say we're here to help you, and then we're gonna
Not
storm
going
in
to
and
accidentally
fucking-
drop "Fringer"
Yeah.
into casual conversation.
No matter how many beers she offers, just take 4 or 6. Don't take 5.
I might not have the ability to speak, so if you hear a lot of crashing around, maybe.
Do you know what? We'll
maybe
use that
pop
as
in.
our fallback. Yeah.
Yeah.
You venture into the sort of canopy of vines and trees, And you notice that a home of sorts is sheltered within the dome of woven branches.
I can't believe you guys are letting me go here.
Good luck.
Alyn, this is, it's a very sparsely decorated home. Some chests, shelves, table. There's sort of an old reclining couch that looks very very time-worn. It would have been very fancy once, but now has seen better days. You can tell everything in here is very old, and you recognize of elven design. After a few seconds of kind of looking around, your skin goes very, very cold, unless you're covered in fur, in which case, you're fine. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I hear that. The air grows cold and a powerful feeling of dread grips you.
And I say, what a beautiful home. It's so much nicer than my home was.
Thank you. You hear a sort of wispy voice come across your ears, and a pale, cold light flickers in the air, rapidly taking on the form of a withered female elf with her hair and robes, waving in a spectral wind wand. She might have been beautiful once, but a hateful expression twists her features now. What do you want here? Do you not know it is death to seek me out?
My beautiful elven sister, I have come to offer you this comb, which may further enhance your already beautiful beauty.
All right, I'm going to need you to roll me a persuasion check, which is a charisma-based one, so good luck. And I'll give you advantage because you've got the comb.
Okay, so 16 total.
So the Banshee seems very pleased by this gift. Oh, what a beautiful comb and so well spoken. It sort of takes the comb and puts it in its hair, and like the comb is somehow more hideous now than it was. And then the Banshee turns its eyes on the cat and says, "Oh, and what a beautiful cat. Perhaps you could give it to me in exchange for riches."
Okay. And I just whisper, they told me to agree with everything she said. Please take this cat as a humble offering.
So the
It's not strengthening the bond between Alyn and Yacob.
Hey, I'm just following the rules you guys laid out.
That's true. We're not here to assist, so we can't say anything.
So the Banshee reaches out with a finger and begins to stroke the cat, or at least is going to attempt to stroke the cat. As its fingers get closer to you, you can sort of your vision starts to blur a little bit. You get the sense that being touched by this thing is not a great idea.
I arch my back and hiss.
Oh, I like this one. And it reaches out quickly. So can you roll me a reflex save? So I guess a dexterity save, please.
Nat 20 plus 1.
Well, the natural 20 was good enough for me.
It grabs you, but it hurts itself.
So you very nimbly slip under its fingers, and the Banshee seems more amused than upset by it.
Okay.
And it's like, ah, yes, clever creature. Because it knows full well that it would have just drained your life, and it decides to kind of leave you alone.
Okay, cool.
It's had its fun. And says, well, I appreciate your gifts, Sister Elf. Sister Half Elf, I assume?
Yes, but my elvish side is my pride.
Ah, yes, it is the more beautiful side. I know you seek very many things. You may ask me but one question, and I will give you an answer.
None of us are here. We
Right,
can't
I'm
help you.
just like, oh, shit.
Can't help you.
Sister Elf, I've heard that you have in your possession a spell book with great powers, and I must assume that you are already all-knowing and all-powerful. Might I have this spell book as a token to a Sister Elf?
So she kind of laughs and she says, "Ah, I remember that. Good reading. The spellbook of Bowgentle the Wizard." And she chuckles to herself. She says that she actually traded the book to a necromancer named Cernoth in the city of Erebor more than 100 years ago, and she does not know what's become of it afterwards. However, she does have, and she sort of opens a chest and sort of loots through it. She did tear a page out of it back when she thought she would still have use of such things. So she gives it to you, and it is the spell Dispel Magic, which you can now use.
Yes!
Once you've had some time to meditate on it. She thanks you for the comb and then fades slowly out of existence.
I run out of the house.
And I'm just backing away saying, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. Never return.
Okay. And I turn around and bolt.
So you successfully obtained the information that Sister Grail needed. So next time you're back in Fandelver, if you want to let her know
Where the book is?
appreciate it.
Well,
Yep.
yeah, the only one who knows is
Yeah.
Alyn.
For successfully getting the answer out of Agatha, you each get 50 XP.
Woohoo!
We did nothing.
Does that include the people in the woods?
You all came up with the plan, so I'm going to allow that. I suspect if Moonhammer was brought up, that likely she wouldn't have given you anything. So by abstaining, you also earned your
Cool.
worth.
Hey, guys. Did I do good?
Did you get the comb back?
I thought the comb was the gift.
Right, but I mean,
You got the
kept
magic
comb.
book, and you got the information about the magic book.
I got a spell book and I found out where the magic book is. It was she traded it to a guy named Cernoth
When?
Like a week ago.
about 100 years ago.
Oh fuck me. Okay, no, we got info. We can go back to Sister Grail and be like, no go. So I'm happy. I think you rocked it. We didn't get murdered. This cat looks super great. Took good care of him. You didn't witch bolt the cat. That's 90% of the battle.
Nope.
You didn't witch bolt or acid anybody. Do you know what? I think we're underselling this moment. I am so proud of you.
Thanks, Butthole.
Yeah.
So my question then to you, Yacob, is did you want to do anything else about the Banshee, or are you content to leave it in its lair?
I'm going to leave it there for now. I have a feeling I might circle back once I part company with these guys.
All right, cool.
But I don't need to murder an undead thing directly in front of them. I feel like they're
I
kind
want
of
you to
freaked
know.
out by me enough as it is.
Fair
Just immediately murdering something that gave them what they asked for might not be the best look.
If you want to go back and get that comb, Yacob, you let me know.
Well, I'm still in cat form as well, so
Yeah,
I'm just rubbing up against Quinny's legs.
Cool.
You're able to continue on from Agatha's lair up towards Thunder Tree. Thunder Tree has been your base of one of the many bases of operations, Yacob, that you've had in this area. You haven't explored the whole town, largely because, as you explained to your new friends, it is infested with ash zombies, which are an unfortunate result of some seismic activity and one ill-fated wizard's attempts to control it. So you're pretty good at sneaking around those things, but basically you kind of found what you needed on the edge of town, and you were fully content to just kind of use that as your operating base until the dragon showed up. So now that the dragon's here, causing a bit of a ruckus.
So follow-up question for you, Yacob. The dragon, is this in the town? Is it near the town? You're the expert.
Yeah. So Yacob is able to give you sort of that amount of information.
We've got a map in front of us here.
To reminder for those listeners at home, anytime Tom shows us anything visual, you'll be able to find an image of this on our Instagram. We'll also describe it here so you know what we're talking about.
Yacob, you're able to kind of explain. You kind of took up residence in the southwest corner of town.
Yeah, and the Dragon's Keep is basically directly kitty corner across.
Yeah, it's in the sort of
Northeast.
northeast corner. So just north of your hideout, you know there are some blighted cottages and shops. You know that one of the big problems in this area are twig blights. They're these little small sort of stick creatures that are more of an inconvenience than a genuine threat unless they group up.
Okay.
So you know that generally speaking, there are a bunch of these things throughout the town. So the big problems are the ash zombies and those.
Okay.
So, Yacob, before we go to this dragon, there's sort of two places we're looking for. I'm a mercenary. Life and death are sort of a thing. We sort of, if we're going to fight a dragon, we could lose you, and thus your knowledge, we could lose any of us. We need to know where the blacksmith's is and where the alchemy shop is.
Well, those would be around in the west part of town, kind of the midwest part of town, but they're not really in any way operate. Like, this town has been destroyed for a long
Yeah,
time.
no. We just have some inside info about some stuff we're sort of here looking for.
Okay. Yeah, those would be over there in what used to be the shopping district.
Also, we got this pack mule. This thing don't fight so good, and it's a rental, so
You can leave it at my house.
Perfect. That's, you know what, you're a nice guy. I like this.
Well, I like mules. You guys are,
Do you know what? As long as
Fine.
we're keeping the mule safe, everybody wins.
I've got a question for Yacob. Quinny's wondering about like if the dragon keeps any kind of schedule, leaving the keep to go do other things, or like when it rests and sleeps or anything like that. Like, is there any kind of predictable behavior that we can get at?
I know that different colors of dragons have different, for lack of a better word, affinity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would a
is
nature
a green-
check? Yeah,
green dragon.
Help me know what a green dragon
Yeah,
is.
absolutely.
And I'm going to lean over to Quinny and say, Quinny, You've been healed by the
shit.
dragon god. Do you know anything of green dragons?
No,
Or
man.
dragons in general?
It's all fucking bullshit to me.
So I think I know literally everything in the world about dragons because that's my second nat 20 today.
Nice.
So 22 total nature check on the dragon.
Great. So it's a green dragon. It does seem young. It's a lot smaller than dragons you've previously seen.
Okay.
That tells you a number of things about it. It won't be as powerful as other dragons, and it may also be more skittish.
Okay.
It's not, a dragon that's been living under a mountain for 1,000 years. It's a young dragon that's setting up its new kind of lair.
It's territory.
Yeah. Green dragons, spit poison.
Okay.
As well as
You have so
flame,
much
which
in
you encountered
common.
earlier. So you're aware
It's a
that
really good freestyling dragon, guys.
the
Spit fucking mad poison.
the poison breath.
Is the dragon M&M?
So, I don't want to always be this guy, but knowing that you know something about dragons, do you think we can actually take this thing? Because I've heard a lot of talk about how nasty dragons can get, Yacob.
If it was grown, I'd say no, but I think the 4 of us can kill a baby.
I agree. To infanticide! Have you seen him, Mom? This is a serious follow-up question, because I don't want this to be like, oh, we're going to take a bear cub, and then there's just a bear right there, and it's a horrible plan.
From what I've noticed, it's young enough, it's old enough that it's out of the nest, but it's not so old that it's, fully competent and fully established.
Yeah, and dragons are intelligent in the D&D universe, so they're also and I think all of you would probably know this, but they're very greedy and they're very jealous.
They can talk, right?
Yeah, they can speak. So you don't see a lot of dragons living in communities with each other because they would get jealous of each other's hordes and end up fighting each other for what gold and wealth there is.
Okay, I think I've got a plan. If we're all into this, I'm just going to throw it out there. We know that there's a fancy, expensive heirloom in the alchemy shop because we learned that from Myrna. We know roughly where the dragon's lair is because Yacob knows where it is. What if we use the statue as bait for a trap?
I mean, it's been here a couple days. There's a decent chance it already has it.
Okay, that's also valid, but we could try this plan. Otherwise, we could just theoretically ambush it. If it's in a cave or something, like you wait outside for it to come out, we do something to draw it out.
What kind of building is it?
Yeah,
is
so
it
let
roosting
me
in a
give
building?
you the rundown of Thunder Tree as written in the Book of Adventure. So ahead of you, in the middle of the settlement, rises a steep hill upon which stands a stone tower with a partially collapsed roof and an adjoining cottage, which you've noticed is where the dragon has kind of taken up its residence.
Oh, I just realized. I guess I've wild shaped out of cat form because I've been talking to everyone and saying things. So I guess
you've
I
been
did
talking
that.
at us. We figured out rhythmic blinking. Like we all speak sign language now.
Yeah, I guess when we got to my house, I would have shifted out.
Cool.
For the rest of you, as you come up the dirt trail to the house, you notice that Yacob had put up a giant sign that said, "Danger! Plant monsters and zombies! Turn back now!" That's been remarkably effective. I think it was in your early days of exploring. You're like, it was worth it. And you feel happy that you came to town with him because that probably would have been a pretty solid deterrent if you'd been up on your own.
I chuckle heartily and pat my warhammer, and then I just look to the sky and point, and I'm like, "Oh, you Moonhammer, you got my back."
Yeah. So the
Can you turn undead?
Oh yeah,
Nice.
full cleric.
That will come in very handy.
Well, we'll see.
So-
if it's just twig monsters and a dragon, I'm not going to be that useful.
The tower that the dragon has taken up residence in seems to be in a decently good condition, although half the roof is gone. You can see there's some arrow-slit windows visible in the tower, and you can't help but notice the sort of acrid smell in the air outside in town. Not so much inside your cottage because you
So I'm going to defer to Yacob to lead us because he seems to know the most of the area. I'll pull up the rear with Goblin Jr. because without a rear guard, Alan's been shot a lot of times.
Yeah, I'm just going to say we should all try to move as quietly as possible because we don't want to be attracting attention of the plant monsters and the zombies.
I nod and fart my agreement very loudly.
If I've got my cloak on, does my glowing go over the cloak, or does my cloak contain the glowing?
the glowing.
It goes over your
Yeah,
cloak.
it
You're
definitely
glowing
has
the
to.
whole
Okay,
way.
yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm just going to roll a stealth check to make sure.
Sure. Yeah. Do it up.
Everyone should, or
It's up to you guys. 11 plus, that would be dex, right? So 12 total for me.
Fuck me.
15.
1.
7 total.
Hey guys, I did so good back there.
So yes, Alyn is unfortunately rather loud.
I just look over and glare,
Alyn,
but like resignedly.
Alyn spots an old cannon and fires it.
Alyn makes some noise, but with Yacob taking point, he's basically, you're keeping them out of buildings, because what you've noticed is a lot of the ash zombies seem to be pretty localized to the building they're in, and they tend to become aware when there's a human presence in the room. When there isn't one, they don't really give a shit.
Okay.
They've been there for a very long time.
It's almost like they're reliving out their previous lives.
Yeah, kind of. And there's a sense that like the power that's trapping them here has given them just enough to be aware when things are around. But oftentimes this place is completely abandoned. When it is, they just lie dormant, waiting for something to.
Cool.
And the twig creatures, you're able to point them out. They look like regular sticks and twigs. But generally speaking, it's like, hey, that thicket over there, that's a bunch of stick monsters.
Yeah.
Just don't fucking go in that thicket. So what's your plan? You're moving through the town. Are you attempting to get to the keep?
I think we want to find that alchemy shop.
So
if
we're
we can,
going
right?
to the shopping district
Piss
first.
off this dragon. Let's at least have cleared out the buildings of what we need first. So that's blacksmith tools and the
statue or whatever the heirloom is.
unknown heirloom.
you're able to make it into the shopping district, the former shop district, without any real danger, largely because Jacob's guiding you. You approach a ruined shop that's cluttered with sagging shelves and broken furniture, and there's shards of glass and all sorts of pieces that would have been used for alchemy back in the day. From the door, you're able to look in, and you see that slumped over one counter is an ash zombie, and there's another one against the wall. Neither of them have noticed you yet.
All right. If I'm gonna peek in through a window, and we see these ash zombies. If I'm trying to spot this necklace, can I see it from outside?
No, from your vantage point, a lot of broken glass, a lot of broken wood, but nothing of value.
We got to go in there.
And if you remember, Myrna did mention that her family had managed to hide it.
It was in the southeast
right.
corner.
Oh, good memory.
I remember that. Okay, we've done some similar sort of stuff with skeletons before where we just timed attacks. Do we want to just rush them? Like, there's 4 of us. Like, 2 take one, 2 take the other. We just storm the place and smash them?
Let's rush them.
Yeah.
All right. I'll take the one on the floor. Why don't we send our more vulnerable people to deal with the one behind the counter? Because you might be able to... Like, Alyn can hit it from outside.
Yeah.
Before we go in, I cast Chalet.
Yeah.
It gives me a magic. It summons a magic club.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's awesome.
Yep. It infuses your weapon with all the powers of nature, and allows druids to use a regular weapon as though it was their spell.
Cool. Okay, so I'll take the one on the floor, because then if it rears back and hits me, I can take a hit. Alyn's going from the door. Quinny, do you want to go for counter guy, because you can duck behind the counter afterwards?
If we go for that one,
Yeah.
do you want to try and get around behind it? Like, I can distract it and you
Sure.
can flank it.
Yeah.
Nice. So we'll have Alyn zap guy behind counter. I'll go for the zombie on the floor with Goblin Jr. You're going to go for counter, and you're just going to go to try and flank whoever
The
is
counter
still
guy, yeah.
alive.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'll go first and go right. You go left. He'll be behind you, and Alyn can fire in the gaps. Alyn, please don't miss.
I'll try.
Okay, let's agree not acid splash if there's a risk of hitting us with acid splash.
I'm willing to take the risk.
Okay, you can hit Quinny with acid splash, but not me. Do you know what? Do what you got to do, Alyn. I'm overthinking this.
So if you could all roll me some initiative, please, that would be great.
Total of 20. Not natural, but a total of 20.
Total of 3.
Total of 12.
8 total.
Yeah, so I'm going to slow motion run towards my guy. Just.
I'm going to leave Goblin Jr. out of combat when we have a full party, largely because it's absurd for the DM to also be running a wolf character well. So basically what I'm going to say is you can use, we're going to use him like a limited use power. So you can use Goblin Jr. to gain advantage or to try and give something disadvantage. It'll work for 1 round, and then every round roll a d6. On a 5 or 6, he recharges.
Great.
Yep.
That works for me. So he'll go to give me advantage this
And
round.
occasionally I'll storybook him, but generally speaking, that's how we'll use him.
That's easy. I'm sold.
And he's
Great.
a team mascot.
Yeah, he's just got such great energy.
Yeah.
Since both the creatures are slumped on the ground, I'm going to give you a surprise round. So Quinny, you're up first.
I guess it's a surprise attack. I'll run right up on that motherfucker and stab him in the neck with my short sword.
And you're going for the guy on the counter? Or
On the
guy
counter.
floor?
Like I clamber up onto the counter and I'm standing over him and drive the sword
great.
down.
So roll your attack, please.
Total of 20.
20 will hit, yep.
Okay. 11 damage.
So Quinny, you run in, you just like leap up, stab him. As soon as you step in, you can see the two zombies start to shuffle and move and start to arouse themselves. When you hit it, though, there's a giant puff of ash that comes off this creature. It's clearly been sitting dormant for quite some time. So roll me a Constitution save, please.
20.
20, great. Nice. So the ash, it's it's in your eyes. You're trying to breathe it in, but you quickly throw up your glowing cloak and manage to
disperse it. I guess?
Disperse it a bit.
You
but,
asshole butthole.
Listen, I
not
tried
him.
to dispel
It's
it. This is not
Moonhammer's
me.
Great.
It's a curse from the goddess. I have no control over this.
Alyn, you're up next.
Quinny backed off, right? You're not like, you don't have like knife and throat or anything
Well,
like
he
that?
stabbed it, so he's standing next to it.
Yeah, I'm
Oh, you're
standing,
standing next
I'm
to it?
standing over it, yeah.
Okay. I really don't want to electrocute you,
No,
so
fucking hit him. Quinny's like, yeah, like I'm crazy. Yeah, do it.
all right, if you say so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw a witch bolt at the guy slipped over the counter. So that's 18 for the attack.
That'll hit.
And damage. 12.
I always believed in you, Alyn.
So that first zombie, it just it starts to shuffle up and something gets stabbed and electrocuted and just bursts into a electrified puddle of sadness. So it is
Cool.
well and truly dead.
Nice. Good job.
Jacob.
So you're obviously
So-
going to go after floor
I'm going
guy.
to go after floor guy.
He veers a hard right as a zombie explodes. He just runs and
Pisses
starts
into the
breaking
ashes.
shit.
And I'm just going to try and bash its brains
Great,
in with
do
my
it up.
club. 14 total.
Yep, that'll
To
hit.
hit.
Oh.
6.
As you strike it
Con.
with your club, puff of smoke.
17.
You run up, you bash it with your magic club. You've been dealing with these things for a while, so just as you swing, you take a deep breath in, close your eyes, club it in the head, and you're immune to the effects.
Sweet.
Great. Butthole.
All right, I'm coming in. I'm swinging double-handed on the Warhammer. I got Goblin Jr. with me. That's
You guys sure do hate inert zombies.
oh, so much. 15 total?
That'll hit.
Nice. 8 damage.
8 damage. Great. Okay, top of the round. Quinny, you're standing up on the counter, and from the storeroom, you start to hear scraping noises.
I'm going to kind of press myself up against the wall right by the doorway and ready in action with my short sword drawn.
It's handy you do that, because as you do, you see one ash zombie start to shuffle through the door.
Okay.
It's sort of clad in like the sort of a wrecked, burnt apron, and you can see one hand still clutches a vial.
Clutches a vial.
The vial's empty, but it's like
Oh,
holding on to
okay. I'm going to jump up and try and poke it in the brains.
it. All right,
Do I have advantage?
you do. The zombie is
perfect.
surprised.
Great. Total of 17.
Great, you manage to strike it soundly in the side of its big, stupid head.
And that's 7 damage.
Roll me a con save, please.
Yeah. Ooh, not as good. 8 total.
You strike it mightily, but in your excitement, you grin and breathe deeply. You now you find yourself choking and coughing as the sort of horrible ash coats your throat.
Okay.
And as a result, you now have disadvantage on attack throws, saving throws, and ability checks for 1 minute.
Okay.
You can keep saving, though, on your turn to see if you can sort of blink it out of your eyes and cough it out. You can still hear another thing shuffling behind the one in the door. Alyn, you've just seen a new zombie enter the room. Your dear friend Quinny has just stabbed it in the face. What do you do?
I'm gonna throw an acid splash on the zombie.
Do it.
All right.
If Goblin Jr. is our mascot, Acid Splash is our mascot spell.
So Acid Splash is safe for the zombies, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Get the sense that zombies really aren't too good at dodging things, so
Nice.
you Acid Splash the fuck out of them.
Cool. And 2 damage. Acid damage.
The ash-covered burnt zombie begins to sizzle yet again. It's experiencing a whole different kind of burning pain. What a great day to be a zombie. Okay, the one on the floor has shuffled to its feet, and it swings a mighty fist at Yacob. You are smacked straight in the face and take 4 points of bludgeoning damage. It tries to zombie moan at you, but its mouth and throat are so full of ash that it's more like... You're busy fighting a zombie. You're not too cognizant of anything, but the rest of you can kind of hear a skittering noise start to come up the walls outside. It's kind of a... Yacob, it is your turn. You've just been punched in the face by a zombie.
I'm going to try and get this thing off its feet again. So I'm going to cast Thorn Whip
Nice.
and try and ensnare its feet and trip it up.
Awesome.
Let's see. 9 total.
That will actually hit. Zombies
nice.
have a disturbingly low AC because of their zombiness.
6, and I trip it up.
We're going to say it's restrained. It's sort of hanging from the rafters, covered in thorns. Now that it's upside down, it's still like flailing horribly and trying to snarl and grab at you.
Oh man,
but,
we can just bash it like a pinata now.
Yeah, that's like you and I are just like having a fun birthday party. Like I don't know whose it is, but I want to know what comes out.
Ash. Ash comes out.
Deadly ash.
But I'm really hoping for candy. Like just on the off chance.
Butthole, you're up.
Awesome. I'm just gonna like baseball bat swing 2-handed right at his fucking face. Just hanging there. Moonhammer, let it be candy. And I swing 12 total.
That'll hit.
Great.
Yeah, well, he's prone right now, basically, right?
Yeah. Well, he's restrained, so you get advantage, but also his AC is super low, so that would be fine.
And 5 damage total.
5 damage. All right. That zombie's looking pretty fucked up, but it's just hanging on.
Holy shit, they have a lot of health,
Hanging
eh?
on by a thread.
I look
That
over at
first
Yacob
one
and I'm
just
like,
exploded immediately.
I'm like, these guys just take a beating.
Yeah, it's almost like they have actual challenge level HP or something, rather than all these like fucking flimsy ass goblins.
This is why I don't live in town.
We gotta get like a gang of goblins in here to take out the zombies and take over, and this would be so much easier. Goblin-based villains are
This is
where it's
why
at.
We're going to end up missing goblins.
Great.
Remember the
So
goblin days?
You smack at the zombie's barely hanging on as it swings upside down. The skittering becomes louder, and suddenly, sort of leaping through the window, come 4 twig blights. They're little twiggy creatures. They look adorable, but they're also not pleasant.
Got it.
You can see they're kind of like looking around, trying to see what's up. But they're in the room with you now. Back to the top of the round. Quinny, you are standing next to a zombie that you just stabbed, and you can hear more shuffling behind it.
All right. I better put some distance between me and this guy if I hear more shuffling behind it. And there are twig monsters on the ground. So I'll use my bonus action to disengage. Mm-hmm. And then I'll use my movement to get back up on top of the bar. And then I'll fire off short bow at our zombie coming through the doorway.
Great.
And I guess I don't have advantage anymore, so that's just... Oh, and I have disadvantage, actually, for attack.
Yes,
rolls. Do I not?
because you are full of sadness.
So that's super good. Total of 7 to hit. 7.
Unfortunately, you do not manage to strike the zombie.
No,
but you can roll a save to see if you shake off the effects.
Cool. What's the save that I'm rolling for?
10.
Oh, okay. So I did roll to 12.
Great. So you managed to hack out, you hork out some ash, and you're
God.
you're,
Yeah,
you're,
all right.
you're good to go.
Cool.
Great. That brings us to the guy who is next to you. He sees you kind of skitter off. Looks into the room, sees 2 guys swinging hammers. He's going to go at Butthole,
Bring it on.
and he swings his fist down at the back of your head, and he will strike you soundly for 5 points of damage.
I'm visibly grumpier.
From behind him, another ash zombie kind of like lurches into the door frame, dragging its leg. Alyn, you're up. You're still in the doorway. You can hear some skittering behind you.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I'm going to turn around and see what the hell is up. So we got 4 of them coming in, right?
You have 4 that have just jumped in through the window.
Through the window? Okay.
Inside the building, but you're hearing skittering behind you as well. And as you turn, you see that there are 4 more twig blights coming up behind you, sort of like coming out of the
street?
Out of the street in the greenery.
Holy shit. Okay.
Seems all the sound and ruckus have attracted their attention.
How big are they?
They're very small.
dangerous are
They're I don't know, let's say 6 inches, 5-6 inches tall.
Oh, okay.
Because they're skittering, they like think of their legs as like really sharpened, pointy, sort of almost needle-like branch things.
All right, I'm seeing these ash zombies as a bigger threat right now. We got this one who's, I feel like, almost dead.
You've got the one
that
that's
Quinny's
hanging
been
upside down
attacking.
by his foot's pretty fucked up, and you've got the one that Quinny has been fighting that just punched Butthole. Looks hurt, but not.
I'm just gonna do acid splash.
Great.
It's at the zombie that's yeah.
Which one? The one that's hanging upside down, or the one that's attacking Butthole?
The one that's been attacking Butthole.
Great. So I'll roll its save. Surprise! The slow-moving zombie fails to dodge the hit. So roll your damage.
1 damage.
So it begins to fizzle and spit as it's covered in just a gentle
already.
sheen of acid. That will bring us to the zombie that's hanging upside down. It is restrained, so it's attacking with disadvantage. Tries to punch our good friend Yacob, and it misses. It snarls, perhaps its last snarl, as we come to the blights that came in through the window. So there's 4 blights. 2 of them rush the halfling. Cool. And they each attempt to sink their claws into you. Both of them fail.
I was going to say, don't worry, Quinny, you've got the high ground.
And 2 of them will rush Alyn.
Ooh. Ooh.
One will hit,
Okay.
and they will do 3 damage to you.
Alrighty.
Which brings us to Yacob.
So, is there still a zombie at the door of the
Yes.
storeroom?
So there's a zombie at the door of the
a fresh
storeroom.
one, too,
There's
I
a
think.
zombie right
Yeah.
behind me who punched me in the head, and there's the zombie who's strung up.
Okay, well, this is quickly getting out of control.
Yeah.
So I'm going to. They've told me what they're looking for, right?
Yep, we're in the
you guys have
southeast
told me.
corner. It's hidden inside something, and it's an emerald necklace.
Okay, I'm gonna just start trying to find that because unless we just burn the entire store down, I don't think we're gonna fight. Like, I don't think we're gonna beat all these things.
Right.
So I rush towards the storeroom and try and take that one out.
Great. So you're rushing the storeroom zombie?
Yeah.
Okay. So you rush up to it and swing away.
19 total.
That'll hit.
8
8
total.
Great. And if you could please roll me a Constitution save.
21 total.
You eat ash zombies for breakfast. This is no new adventure to you. Great. So you strike it soundly. Butthole, you're up.
Awesome. I actually want to step. I want to like bring my shield up, and I want to step over into the corner right beside the door where Alyn is.
Okay. So you're gonna use your action to disengage. If you disengage, you won't provoke because you're basically using your attack
Fuck it.
action
No,
to just,
what
like,
I'm
shake
gonna
things
do is
off.
I'm gonna hit the dude who's hanging. Like I just want to finish this motherfucker right off, and then I'll
Finish
spin.
him.
Like I'll finish him two-handed, and then I'll spin with the shield up to deal with other zombie behind me.
All right.
as needed.
Light him up. Yep, that'll do.
Great. Two-handed. The whole 3 damage. Oh, fuck myself.
You are very lucky because he had 2 HP.
Yeah.
You hear a satisfying crunch as what was left of his ashy rib cage implodes, and as the vine whip drops him, the sort of shattered heap falls to the ground in front of you.
Nice.
Any
so,
candy?
Not that you'd want to eat.
So
Candy, though.
Yeah, I'm still happy.
Yeah.
I yell, "This is my new candy!" And then I will like step forward over his body and spin around with my shield up to the warhammer one-handed. So I got my back to a wall now,
Yep.
and I'm facing off against the zombie who's coming at me.
Awesome. Alyn, you're beset by several twig blights that attack you with their little tiny needly arms.
Okay.
Damn, your AC.
Oh, shit.
please.
11.
Yeah. Okay, so Alyn, 3 of them managed to dig their little
Jesus.
tiny needle-like appendages into your legs,
Okay.
and you're going to take 9 points of damage.
Fucking hell.
Yep, very, very pointy. Quinny,
I see what Yacob is up to and thinking like, sooner we get our things, sooner we get out of here. But Alyn is surrounded by these little fucking wooden munchkin creatures. So I'm going to use my bonus to disengage from the guys that are around me. The 2,
no, the 2 blights.
the 2 blights, and I'm going to see if I can get behind one of the ones that are facing her for some advantage.
Yep, for sure.
Cool, and I'm going to go short sword.
Okay, do it up.
Total 20.
20, great. You managed to strike it.
Perfect. 11. Oh, awesome. 6-sided dice.
It is a twig. You snap that motherfucker right in half.
Cool.
So there is the zombie that is currently attacking Butthole.
Yep.
It's going to swing a fist at your face. It misses. You glance it off your shield.
Yeah, I'm
You're like,
awesome.
it's real nice having a shield again. The one that has appeared in the doorway is directly in front of Yacob. It's going to attempt to punch him. It will fail as well.
Nice.
I look at both of the zombies and I yell, "You smell like my name!"
Alyn, you're up. You are surrounded by sadness.
And 1 halfling.
Yes. So currently you have four blights attacking you that are still outside.
Okay.
One that's directly in front of you, and your buddy Quinny sitting with you.
I'm gonna throw magic missiles at
Nice.
the 3 of the 4 that are like coming in from outside.
Okay,
'cause
awesome.
I imagine I could hit them all.
And I think with magic missile they just.
Oh,
I think
they just hit?
Hit, yeah. So
That'd be cool.
Oh, nice.
roll your damage, please.
Okay. We got 3, 4, and 5.
3, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
All right, that's 3 dead blights.
Oh, wow. They are
Nice.
super weak. Okay, cool.
So remaining, there's zombie Butthole, zombie Yacob, and 4 blights.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
Which brings us to the blights in the room. So 2 of them attacking Quinny. 1 will hit for 3 points of damage.
Okay.
And the one remaining that is attacking Alyn, so it will hit you for 2 points.
Okay.
Bringing us to Yacob. There's a swinging zombie in front of you who's missing horribly.
Yeah, I'm going to try and do my vine trick again.
Great.
And just pull him out of the doorway so I can get past and keep on going.
Sounds good.
How much health do you have, Alyn?
I have 1.
Okay.
18.
Awesome.
Total.
Yep. You grab him and pull him.
4 damage. And then for my move, I just go the fuck through the storeroom door.
Awesome. So you rush into the storeroom, and you can see there's sort of a number of shelves. But based on the description they've given you, there's clearly like a box kind of tucked under the bottom of one of the shelves that looks like it was nicely secreted away. So you're able to get over that, no problem.
Okay. I guess I open the box.
Sure. Yep. And inside there's the emerald necklace.
Okay.
Butthole.
Awesome. I got my shield up, so I'm dodging the zombie in front of me. And then I yell, "By the power of Moonhammer!" And I fart a rainbow out, and it soars past my warhammer and soars right at Alyn. And a symbol of Moonhammer glows on her forehead, and she's healed for 10 health points.
Woohoo!
Nice.
Thanks, buddy.
Butty.
Boo. Boo, Tyler.
So the blight
Bow.
outside is going to attempt to attack you again, Alyn. It's the last one remaining out there. It will hit you for 4 points of damage. Your body's very confused because it is both like the wounds are like healing up, and then someone else stabs it, and then another one heals up, and then stabs it again. Which brings us to the top of the round with Quinny.
Yeah, let's clear the entrance so we can exfiltrate like as quickly as possible. So
Right.
I'll just go for the next one that.
The one right next to you.
Yeah.
Great.
17 to
17.
hit,
That'll hit.
and that's 6 total.
6. Great. You slice it in half.
Okay.
That brings us to the zombie in the door. It is restrained, hung upside down. So it's and it's out of range of you, so it'll just kind of flail around and try and break free. It critically fails to break free. It actually entangles itself worse.
They get tighter and cut into it, right? For 20 damage.
Fuck it. Give me a D6 damage.
Both of its legs fall off.
6.
Nice. Yeah, well, it was dragging a leg, so as it rips around, one of its legs just gets torn off and hangs limply in the air. It is very damaged.
Nice.
Alyn, you're up.
All right, and I see. Oh, you got one blight behind, kind of outside.
Yep, that's
just
correct.
one blocking your entrance, and I'm just like, all right, enough. No more magic. I'm just so pissed off and physically and emotionally confused. I just take my quarterstaff in both hands and just go try to bludgeon it. 12.
So you managed to hit.
Okay, and 7 damage.
Yeah, you
Bludgeon it to
just, you
death.
fuck that stick right
Awesome.
up. Okay, that brings us to Yacob.
I'm just trying to get the fuck out of there, man.
Awesome. I think it's safe to say you can run past the legless zombie that's tied up in garbage.
And I yell, "You got the necklace, right?"
Yeah, as I run in, I just scream, I got it, let's go.
Okay, awesome. So I'd say with your movement you can make it to the door if you'd like. Butthole.
We got legless zombie in the back. We got the other two in the room. I'm with my dickhead. If there's nobody else, I'm the furthest in the room right now, right? Everybody else is at the door.
Everyone else is at the door.
All right, I'm going to disengage, and then I'm going to move to put myself between the two zombies left in the room and everybody else who's on their way out the door. So I'm turning back. I got the shield and the warhammer, and Goblin Jr.'s growling with me, and we're doing like a rear guard thing.
Nice.
Great. Okay.
Cool.
So you successfully managed to sort of back that up. The zombies are slow, particularly the one without a leg. So yes, you managed to clear back out. You see some like twig blights kind of like lurking at the sides, but they kind of look like there's 4 people. Like we don't really want to deal with that. So yes, you successfully clear out with the necklace, and you are free and clear. So as you manage to rush back and take a brief breather and a minute to pause, you feel like you've learned a lot. You know, this was the first real sort of ambush that didn't swing in your favor, and you all feel a little better for it. So give yourselves each 75 XP, and welcome to level 3.
Woohoo!
Or level 3 plus 1 if you're Butthole.
Yeah, that extra XP's adding up. So luckily we all prepped these sheets in advance so we can just keep going. Yay! All right.
And I was pretty much at level 3
You were
already,
level 3
right?
already. Yep.
Does that mean all our health points go back to full because we're the
No.
new level, or how does that work? We just add in the difference?
Yes.
Okay.
You step out into the back into the square, and you can see up in the distance the sort of smoke rising from the dragon's tower, and out of the chimney, you hear the flapping of wings, and out of the ruined roof, the dragon appears and snarls, "Fools!
And I look up at the dragon and go, "Can you give us a minute to find the blacksmith?"
Fuck your blacksmith!"
I don't know him. I just want his stuff. Do you know what? Fine. Like, let's just do this.
All right, roll initiative.
21 total.
12 total.
4 total.
10 total.
The dragon appears above the tower. It's still a bit of a distance away from you. You are kind of here-ish, but the dragon's kind of flying up around that area.
Okay. So we're still down sort of in and around shops and cottages and things like that.
Yeah, you're around shops
there's a
and
bit of a path
cottages.
leading up to the keep.
Yeah, there's so it's up on a hill. This area here is kind of like a small town square.
Right.
You know, it's a bit wide open. There's various cover. There's like a fountain in the middle of it.
I'm going to look over at Yacob and say, if we go into that square, are we going to have to deal with this twig crap and zombies? Because otherwise we should just fight this somewhere where these monsters are not going to constantly ambush us.
The square's probably the best. The zombies tend to stay indoors, so if we're not going into a building, we're not going to have to deal with the zombies, most likely. The twigs are going to be able to follow us wherever we go, so...
Hopefully they don't like
All right.
fire.
Yeah.
Square it is. Let's fuck them up.
All right.
So we'll advance into the square and get into, like, battle position.
The market square features a large stone fountain that's been dry and has a thin sheen of ash over it for quite some time. Around it are 4 heavy stone benches. It seems like people could have sat there and enjoyed the sights. In the sort of northeast corner, there are some old, broken down, burnt up market stalls that still have some structure to them, so look like they could be used for cover if need be. Surrounding it are a number of large, kind of broken down buildings. From what you can see, a lot of these are fairly open to the elements, so you don't see ash zombies in any of them from your cursory look. But they are around. To the south, there are more broken market stalls.
Nice. I look over my shoulder at Alyn and I go, you want to hide in a stall? And then Yacob and I can stay central and let them focus on us?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm basically going to give you guys a couple seconds to quickly come up with a plan. The dragon is obviously at distance, so it's spotted you. It's calling you out, but it hasn't swooped in yet.
I was going to try and thunderwave it out of the sky, because if I can paralyze it, then it'll drop.
Nice. I feel extra strong in my Moonhammerness with this upgrade, so I've got some cool spells that'll let me do some extra damage as though I was more than one person.
Nice.
So
well, my
if
thing is,
we can
if I can get on the ground, then I can wild form and just spider bite the shit out
Okay,
of
so
it.
I'm thinking, I'm like yelling to the group real fast as it's like swooping in. I'm like, you just keep sneak
I'm going to
attacking.
turn this thing into a pincushion.
Pop out, shoot it, pop down, just keep going back and forth. Alyn, Witch Bolt, or if you get something nastier, go with that. We're going to go in close and just hit it with stuff. Goblin Jr., please don't die.
Alyn made friends with a psychotic immortal. She gained a new spell. Everyone almost died stealing a necklace. And then a green dragon showed up. Can our heroes survive? Will we get to witness a giant spider fighting a green dragon? Will Quinny ever stop glowing? Listen on to find out. And if you like what you hear, you can follow us at DD&D Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. That's DD Podcast. You can also support the show and further our journey through our Patreon at patreon.com/garbageproductions or visit our website at garbageproductions.net, not .com. Only a poison dragon uses a .com. We are garbageproductions.net. But more important than all of that, tune in next time for another episode of Dum Dums and Dragons!